The world champion suffered his second DNF of the season at the Australian Grand Prix when his car stopped on lap 39 in Melbourne with an unspecified problem. The world champion was in second place at Albert Park on Sunday morning when he unexpectedly suffered a loss of power and smelled a strange liquid coming from the cockpit, after which he stopped his car at the start of a new lap. He turned off the engine and watched as a track marshal used a fire extinguisher on the smoking rear of his RB18. Verstappen is now 46 points behind championship leader Charles after his retirement. It is the second time in the first 3 races of the 2022 season that he has failed to win any points. I'm your host Mike Henry from Formula One Universe. Verstappen says Red Bull's reliability problems are unacceptable. In an interview with Sky Sport, Verstappen stated that thoughts of the title were already far from his mind, as the focus was for Red Bull to resolve its issues. We're already miles behind, so I don't even want to think about the championship fight at the moment, he explained. I think it's more important to finish races. Today was in general just a bad day again. Not really having the pace, and just managing my tires to try and just bring it to the end because it looked like quite an easy P2 anyway. While the reason for his retirement is unknown, Verstappen stated that when Red Bull mechanics were spotted working hard on his car on the grid, he thought he would not make it to the end. I knew there was a problem, he said, so it was always going to be a question mark of finishing the race. I mean, these kinds of things, if you want to fight for the title, they cannot happen. Red Bull team boss Christian Horner said he understood Verstappen's dissatisfaction with the situation, but the first priority was to find out exactly what went wrong. It is totally understandable his frustration, he said. That was a really disappointing result not to finish the race. We don't know what the issue is yet, but I don't think it's actually engine related. I think it might be a fuel issue, but we need to get the car back. We need to be able to look at what's exactly happened. Quick feed. Lewis Hamilton has clarified the context of his radio message to Mercedes at the Australian Grand Prix, which some misunderstood as criticism of the team. Basically, I couldn't race for position because the car was overheating, he explained, so I had to back off. It's an amazing result for us as a team, he explained. Honestly, it's such a positive. We were 1.2 seconds off I think on Friday, and it wasn't looking spectacular at that point. We did some great work overnight, qualifying on the 3rd row and then great starts. I was up in 3rd. After what he called a huge team result at the Australian Grand Prix, Daniel was encouraged by McLaren's pace. I think parts of my race were more competitive. In the beginning I felt strong on the medium, but then on the hard, that kind of last 3 quarters, I drifted a bit back. I found a bit of pace after, but there are still some parts of the race I can keep chipping away at. But yeah, team result was mega compared to the last few. After retiring from the Australian Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel said his 2022 Formula One season cannot get any worse. Obviously, I tried to get the best out of the car that I can, and with hindsight maybe I was pushing too hard. The German said, once I lost it there was no chance to come back. Vettel admitted that his 2022 season could not be much worse because he has not yet completed a Grand Prix distance. It was more challenging not to have the running obviously because we lost time with the car and then with the Saturday morning incident, so doesn't help. But I'm sure it will get better. It can't get any worse, he said.